Verse 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospered. 3 John, verse 2. Beloved, John evidently thought a great deal of Gaius and was very close to him, since again he calls him beloved. I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health. Very frankly, John makes it clear that he wants Gaius to prosper not only financially, he apparently was a man of means. But John also says, I want you to prosper in your health. Evidently, Gaius was not a well man. Even as thy soul prospereth, and John wanted him to prosper also in his soul to grow spiritually. There is a lot of Christians today who are sick spiritually. They have good health physically, but they have pretty bad health spiritually. It is certainly well for a child of God to have both. Good health physically is wonderful to have. Many of us didn't appreciate it until we lost it. And it is important to have good health spiritually. What physical health is to the body, holiness is to the spiritual life of the believer. To be healthy spiritually is holiness. It is to be growing in grace and in the knowledge of Christ. There are were traveling or there were traveling around in that day many men who were teaching the word of God and doing missionary work. Gaius would open his home to them, and certain of them he was not only a large-hearted man, he not only worked in love, but he also worked in truth, and he tested these teachers, and in spite of his poor health, he was able to be very active in hospitality. Oh, excuse me. Verse 3. For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee, even as thou walkest in the truth. 3 John, verse 3. Many of these traveling evangelists and missionaries reported to John uh, and graciousness of Gaius and his walk in truth. They said, when you go to the church where Gaius is one of the leaders, you will find he is a very wonderful man. He is not only a man of means, but also a very generous man. He was entertained in his home. I was entertained in his home. I'm sorry. In that day, they didn't put the traveling preachers in a Howard Johnson or a Ramada Inn because there weren't any. If there had been, I believe they would have put him there. But generally, the little inns in the Roman Empire were flea bitten places, dirty and something very sinful. So the custom of that day was to entertain these men in homes. For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee, even as thou walkest in the truth. This is the testimony that other brethren gave concerning Gaius. This was their judgment of him. The truth is actually the doctrine and the teaching of the apostles. The article should be omitted. Walkest in truth. This refers not only to the doctrine, but also to his conduct. The mark of the believer is to walk in truth. Truth is that which is dominant. The summum bonum for the Christian is whether or not he is walking in the truth or walking in the light. It isn't how you walk, but where you walk that is important. How are you walking in the truth? Walking in the truth also means walking in the right conduct or walking in the love of the brethren. Those who were out in the teaching ministry in the early church would come to uh, Gaius's town and to his church, and they would find that his home was wide open to true brethren. Gaius had a spiritual discernment. He could tell who were the genuine believers and who were not. After all you needed to do was make sure about the man's relationship to the person of Jesus Christ. What think ye of Christ is the test to try both your state and your scheme. You cannot be right in the rest unless you think rightly of him, author unknown. You must think rightly of him in order to be right in everything else. These brethren testified. Brother Gaius tested us out. He found out whether we believed in the deity of Christ. He found out whether we believed in the virgin birth and whether we believed that Christ died a redemptive death upon the cross and was raised bodily from the grave. When he found out that we did believe these things, he opened his home and received us and discovered that we also had a love for the brethren. And when his heart was open to us, what a marvelous testimony Gaius had. And that concludes